agents only sell 4 houses a year.
Wow. And that's why they're part-timers, right? Maybe that's another thing I want to ask you about is this might be a different chapter. You probably see a lot of them get into it. I'm going to do this part-time. And then that's another limiting belief because you really do need to look at this as a full-time job.
Yeah, you can't really do it part-time and be really successful. But if you just want to kind of do it on the side and have a little side income, you can. This isn't for people that want part-time. This is for people that want to grow a company and a business and have control of their business and their life.
What you tell yourself matters. Now, this is going to be a combination of these 2 chapters here. I like this, but mindset. What you tell yourself every day, whether you wake up, affirmations. I don't know if you're really big into affirmations, but tell me a little bit about that and a story of how you learned that lesson. Whether it's, I'm going to make $100,000 this year. I'm going to make $200,000 this year. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to work with this many clients. Tell me a little bit about that.
It borders on arrogance and confidence at the same time. And you have to have it. You just have to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to be in the top 1%. I am going to sell 50 homes. I am going to make X amount of dollars. Like, that is happening. And if you don't believe it, it ain't going to happen. But you have to be very confident about that happening. Because what you tell yourself matters. Everything you tell yourself, it plays in, and it's even more important what you tell yourself than what anybody else says. Because if you don't believe it, it will not happen. Visualizing is so key, and the whole vision board was something that exploded my brain about 2 years ago when I put it on paper. And I can't believe all the things that have actually come from it just by putting it down. And I always just resisted it and tried not to do it, or I thought it was silly. I didn't want to take the time to do it. But man, the minute I did it, like within 6 months, half the board had something going, had something started. It was a 10-year vision board. 10-year vision board. Within 6 months, things were moving forward.
Like what? What were getting crossed off the list? Give me some examples.
It was an income goal that I had on there that we were heavily tracking towards. It was one of the things was to be a public speaker. I had had a couple of engagements by that point. One of them was to be open a new business. I had started a new venture at that point. Those were the most impactful things that I didn't think could get started so quickly.
Would you look at a vision board as sort of like, I am going to do these things board? That type of thing? Rather than just like, because I think people look at vision board like, it'd be nice to have all this. But you looked at it as, I am going to do this. And it ties in with this message really well, that I am going to do this. I am this person. I am going to accomplish that. Really means a lot.
Yep. And on my vision, so I decided to make a vision board for 2018, and a book is on my vision board. So that's why we're here.
So we owe it to the vision board.
Yeah.
And Inga Springman.
Yes. And it holds you accountable. And I think that another really great aspect of that is to share that with the people that are most important to you so that they understand what your visions are and what your expectations are for the future. And, another thing on my vision board is a house in Hawaii. And I made sure my kids know that, and my husband knows that, and that's where the expectation is. And we talk about it, and it's a part of our daily conversation. And that just having that and repeating it, and it's like an affirmation, but it's just an expectation at that point. It's all about how you see it.
Do you say this same stuff? Now, this is high level talking, but do you say the same thing with the house? I'm going to sell this house for you. I'm going to sell this house for you. I'm going to make this work for you, clients. I'm going to build this company. Do you say this even on the smallest level, I am going to get this deal done. I'm going to fix this for you. Like, do you say this stuff all over and over and over? And this is,
I tell my clients, if I put my for sale sign in your yard, we will sell your house. I say that all the time. Or I will let you choose another agent if I don't think I can.
oh, wow. Which people probably look at, like you said, cocky or too confident.
Or they're terrified of it. Yep.
Yeah, you need this. Do you see a lot of agents who are just too timid to even start to speak success into existence?
They're afraid to rock the boat for fear that they won't get the business. It's the scarcity mentality. I need this business. I have to have it. I have to pay my bills. So yeah, they think it's worth 200 and I know it's only going to sell for 150, but if I don't do this, then I won't have any opportunity, right? So they come from the scarcity and they think they have to do it. And unfortunately, it's not serving their client and it's not serving them. And they're actually costing themselves more money by behaving that way. And they're really costing their clients a lot of money too, because they're going to end up selling below market value because of the stigmatism that's created by them being on the market for too long.
Scarcity mindset. Just elaborate on that a little bit more, that you see that kills people, their hopes of ever becoming successful. Scarcity mindset, always looking for the quick buck rather than the long-term relationship, right?
Yeah, it's the thing where they're afraid that a lead will go to somebody else if they don't do it. So they have to call them back, or they have to go show this house to someone that hasn't even made a commitment to them. Oh my gosh, this person wants to see this house. I have to go show it to them. Or else I'll lose the lead, or they'll call somebody else and somebody else will show that to them. That's one way to look at it, but that's not necessarily going to get you where you need to be. That's going to be living every year over and over again instead of growing on each year as it goes.
Almost as if it's desperation. Am I right?
Oh, complete desperation. And that can be seen, heard, and smelled. Yes.
And nobody wants desperation. Nobody. Okay. Conviction. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Great quote. If you think you can or can't, you think you are right, by Henry Ford. Let's talk about tribe. Conviction. Conviction and tribe. I don't know if they're both hand in hand, but tell me about one or the other.
I just had a really great conversation with a friend of mine this morning. And, first of all, you have to know where you're going in order to have the conviction to get there, right? So I will get there. I am doing this. I am going to be a great real estate agent, whatever it is, having the conviction, and then surrounding yourself with the people that believe that too, or that will help you pursue that or help you get there. And what shocks me, because I feel very fortunate that I've always, for whatever reason, surrounded myself with promoters instead of haters.
I like that.
A lot of people out there that are starting this business or are getting into a small business, they even have family that tells them they can't do it, or it's not going to work, or it's not going to be successful, or, being negative about their idea. And that just really brings you down sometimes. Even real estate agents, when the market shifted and everything was short sale and everything was foreclosure and whatever, people will be like, oh, it's tough. Are you getting out of the business? It's time to get out of the business, right? Things aren't going good. Well, shit, when the going gets tough, get going. That's when you need to kick it up a notch and make things happen. And you don't need those naysayers in your life. So I've always been one to just cut out those people and
cut out physically and mentally, or just mentally, or
both.
Both.
I mean, if it's a situation where it's somebody that I've associated with and I determine that they no longer are in my universe with where I'm going, then it just doesn't, I don't have anything to talk about.